I don't know. We'll find out. All right. So we're about to have an immersive VR experience for my boy Edward Earl Newton's birthday.
It's hyper reality, is what I've heard.
So it's like reality, but on sugar.
That's not true. Science has proven that's not true. It's actually bad parenting.
And you would know that because
it's not bad parenting.
No, you're supposed to plug your YouTube channel.
No, I know that, but because I'm about to, I have to be clear. It has nothing to do with bad parenting. I just said all the wrong things. Yes, because Jessica and I are on How To ADHD.
That is Jessica from How To ADHD. And this is Edward Earl Newton about ADHD.
That's right.
And we are here to have an immersive, hyper-reality Star Wars experience for his birthday.
I can't help but feel like this hyper-reality experience is like, well, it's basically like Star Wars if you were on heroin.
You were on heroin?
Yeah. It's basically, we went to George Lucas and we said, if we just did an enormous amount of cocaine and gave you a Stormtrooper blaster, what would that be like? And then we just made it.
And he was just like, well, let's see.
Yeah. Mushrooms. It's going to be mushrooms,
no,
not cocaine.
That's like hyper surreal.
Mushrooms is more San Francisco. I'll say
that would be David Lynch too, by the way. The voice.
All right, we gotta cut it off. I'm not allowed to film in there, so we'll let you know what happens after.
We are at the Void experience for Star Wars.
You've never looked sexier.
I feel like I'm gonna go parachuting right now. It's really interesting. This place is really cool. They have straps if you have boobs to make them bigger, so that's kind of like cool.
I like it.
I feel very weird because I can hear myself talking in stereo, which is just kind of bananas.
So we just walked out of what was the name of the Secrets of the Empire, the immersive hyper-reality VR experience thingy. Dude, I was sweating like a priest in church, man. It was pretty brutal. The birthday boy, what'd you think about it?
It was unbelievable. I mean, first of all, the visuals are great, and even if they were like a little if they were a little out of sync or something, didn't matter because they made all the little details right. You walk into a room, you walk out over this thing. I'm not gonna tell you where you are. Hold on, just 1 second. You walk into this environment, and then like the temperature of the environment hits you. You can feel the wind blowing. The floor starts vibrating. The whole thing was, bottom to top, just an amazing experience.
We got to shoot at Darth Vader. Spoiler alert. Shot at Darth Vader. Didn't hit him. You never hit him. He did, yeah.
He really did come after you. And now, like the nerds we are, in honor of Edward Earl Newton, Munchkin.
We're going to play Munchkin now, which is not a VR augmented experience.
It could. I suppose if you hold the cards like really close to your face, it could be. See, this would be a 180 Munchkin experience.
But do you feel appropriately celebrated is the really important question.
Dude, absolutely. I'm so glad to have you guys out. I would have been fine with like cupcakes and that's it.
We have cupcakes.
We do have cupcakes as well, but everything else has just been tops.
And all praise be to Jessica because she did this.
All praise be.
All praise be. All praise be. We'll end on that.
I'm so grateful. Like, this is literally the only people I would want here, and I'm so thankful to have all of you.
Wait for us to sing.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Freestyle it.
Happy birthday, dear Edward. Happy birthday to you. Wow. All right.
Welcome back to my writer's room, everyone, and happy birthday to my brother from another mother, Edward Earl Newton. Had a lot of fun. Do not get to see him and his lovely wife, Jess, often enough these days. Don't get to see anybody often enough these days. But it was really great to celebrate his birthday with him. Hey, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now, and then hit that little bell thing right next to it. Because if you subscribe but you don't hit the bell thing, they won't tell you when I put out new videos. Because I've entered YouTube at a strange time. It's like the end of Fight Club if YouTube was Edward Norton from Fight Club. Does that work? We're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. It is May 1st, 2018, and that's... I tried to draw... That's supposed to be Black Hamshackle. That doesn't sound right. I was trying to draw Hamshackle Pig as Black Panther, and that's supposed to be the Infinity Gauntlet. And I'm just going to be honest, I didn't commit to this drawing at all. I really didn't. I felt very uninspired on the title card this week. And I tried to do something topical, and I thought Infinity Wars. I went and saw Infinity Wars Friday night. Like, I'll do... And I just didn't commit, and so it's crappy, and I apologize. But it is May 1st, 2018, and you want to be Team Hamshackle because it's a good way to be in life. So yeah, I did see Infinity Wars this weekend, and then I did partake of the Secrets of the Empire hyper reality experience. I was all up in popular culture this weekend. I participate. I'm hip. I'm with it. Ducka ducka ducka. But anyway, that's how I prove how hip I am by a freaking Austin Power reference. How sad was that? That was the saddest thing that has ever happened. Like you could watch a documentary about puppies getting kicked for an hour and a half, and it wouldn't be as sad as that reference just then. Maybe it'd be sadder. I'm sorry I said that now. My wife's gonna watch this. I just talked about kicking puppies. She just went like, "Oh," and now she feels bad, and I feel bad, and we're just we're gonna take this whole thing back. So I do not have an Infinity Wars review. I don't have one. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was. I think they deserve credit for making it coherent after 50 years of movies that all had to tie together in this one movie. I give them immense props for how coherent it was. Just from a craft standpoint, that's not an easy thing to do, especially within the confines of a studio system where everything gets micromanaged and poorly delegated, and it's the definition of too many cooks. That'd really be my only overriding observation. From a fan perspective, it was fine. I found I wasn't as into the whole thing as everybody else. I was curious because, of course, I followed along since OG Iron Man way back in the day. I've enjoyed some Marvel movies very much, like Captain America: Winter Soldier. I still think it's an amazing film. I have not enjoyed some Marvel movies so much. Didn't even watch Doctor Strange. But I was curious, I was like anybody else, I was curious. So I went and I enjoyed it. I followed along with it, all the characters were there. It's a fan service movie. I don't understand. I mean, I absolutely do understand why people are analyzing it so deeply, because that's what we do. But like with a movie like this, I feel like that's useless. To be honest with you, I really do. I feel like it's useless to examine it from an objective viewpoint, because it's not made to be a singularly objective experience. Infinity Wars is not about the movie, it's about what the movie means to you. That's the absolute truth. And that's the truth about most of the Marvel stuff. It's not about the movie, it's about what the movie means to you. If those characters and that mythology mean a lot to you, then the movie means a lot to you, the experience means a lot to you, everything gets elevated. If it means nothing to you, then you're not going to take anything from it. And and again, it doesn't matter how well they made it for what it is. You're not going to get what everybody else got out of it, because it's not made to be viewed objectively. It's really not. So that's just my take on it. So the thing is, that's why I don't feel the need to review it. I think reviews of it are kind of useless. Either it meant something to you or it didn't. I think that's really the only objective review of a movie like Infinity Wars that matters. If it meant something to you, great. If it didn't, I don't know why you paid the money, frankly. Like, what were you expecting, man? For real, like you're gonna if it's not something you were already biased towards, I don't know why you would buy a ticket to a Marvel movie to begin with, an MCU movie, let alone like the apex MCU movie. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment. And I think that's the issue I took with all the like really negative think pieces out there. So anyway, that's my review of Infinity Wars reviews, but I don't actually have a review of the movie. The movie was fine for what it was. Again, either it meant something to you or it didn't. That's all I can really say about that. So that augmented reality, that's some nutty stuff, huh? I'm really, really sorry that I couldn't film any of the actual game. Like, calling it a game even seems belittling at this point, because I really enjoyed it. The Shadows of the Empire thing that we did for Edward's birthday. I hadn't tried augmented reality before. I hadn't done the whole headset. You saw Nikki wearing it. I was wearing the same thing. But it was it was really cool. It was Rogue One themed. So right away I'm there. They had the actor who played Cassian set it up in a little movie. You had K2SO was guiding you through the mission. Your rebels playing pretending to be stormtroopers, infiltrating an Imperial base to try to get this weapon that the rebellion has heard the Empire has in their possession. That's like the whole setup. And then you go through this 15 to 20 minute campaign through these series of actual rooms, these gray rooms with doors that feed into each other, and you're wearing the headset with the earpieces, and the reason it's augmented reality, not virtual reality, if you're not like hip to the technology, like I am, is because it's not the shit that it's really. It was particularly interesting doing it as someone who came of age like in the 90s, like when they first tried to push virtual reality on us. But it wasn't really virtual reality. It was like the Virtual Boy, or you'd wear the big stupid headset and you'd be up on the dais with the foam padding and you just bump into stuff. And it was crap. It was not the Matrix. They promised the Matrix, but they didn't have Matrix technology. So now what they figured out is we don't have to immerse your brain and take over your senses. All we have to do is make you is touch the reality around you, and that's what it does. It takes everything around you and overlays it with these incredibly realistic 3-dimensional images. So the people around me became stormtroopers. The environment around me, this blank gray room, became an Imperial starbase, and it was incredibly real. It really was. They also tweaked the environment to they would raise the temperature when there's this part where you're on a skiff and you're flying way above lava, and they heat up the room and blow hot air at you to intensify the experience. But dude, when you are on that skiff and you are above that lava, it is, despite the fact your brain knows full well you are standing on a flat surface in a small gray room, it totally trips you out to believe that you were flying high above this lava with no handrails, and it is freaky. It is really freaky. My wife had to bear down like a linebacker, and they had to hold her hands so she could get through it because she's terrified of heights. That's how realistic it was. So it was an amazing thing. It was my first experience with it. I love the technology. I see no reason this doesn't become gaming in the future. Even though it requires an environment to play with, I don't see why, even maybe it's all there already, but I don't see why they can't get the technology to a point where it can work with any environment. I still think it's in its infancy, and even if it's in its infancy, it's really friggin' impressive. So I dug the hell out of it. I'd like to write something for an augmented reality, because that was the other thing is the technology was great. What took it over the top, what made it amazing, is because we were in Star Wars, man. We were on a mission for the Rebel Alliance in Star Wars, and it felt real, and we had blasters, and we got to do the whole thing. And the little mini story, the little mini campaign, was really well put together. It had great plot points and great reveals and all kinds of cool stuff. So, like any entertainment medium, the writing and the storytelling will always drive it. That's why I feel secure in what I do, because people are always going to need me. However the technology advances, you need someone to tell the story. So I'd love to write an augmented reality story. If anybody out there can hook that up, let me know. I'd like to talk to somebody. But anyway, it was a cool thing. If you have access, we went to a place called The Void. If you have access to a place that's doing an augmented reality experience, tickets are like $30 a piece. Totally worth it, man. I heard there's a Ghostbuster one. There's the Star Wars one. They're doing all kinds of stuff out there. So I highly recommend checking it out. That's going to be it for this week. Everything is going well. I'm very slammed right now between my marketing job, which is going fantastically, and all my freelance stuff, which is trying to finish a book, and there's a pilot I'm working on, and all the admin stuff around that. Very slammed, but I got no complaints. Things are going in the right direction. I'm working hard to keep them moving that way. I'm trying to seize the momentum that I have. I've never had as much momentum as I have right now, and I am determined to ride this rocket to glory. So I'll talk about that more in detail in weeks to come. But for now, I just want to say I hope you're all had a great week, and are having a great week. Contest giveaways will be returning to the channel. I'll be doing some more mystery box giveaways. I will hopefully be doing some more writing videos. I know a lot of people are waiting for that. The channel is called Angry Writer. You're waiting for more writing related content. I get it. Please stick around. Like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Please like, comment, share this all around. Let's blow this channel up. I'm trying to put in the work, folks. I'm taking the camera out in the world and capturing what I can for you. But until next time, I'm Matt Wallace. Have an amazing week. I will see you next Tuesday. Same Matt time, same Matt channel.